All right, have your weights handy. We might use them a little bit for warm up. Otherwise, roll those shoulders up, back and down. Add a little elbow bend. Open up. Use those muscles behind your shoulders, wider stance. Bring it down and lift it up. Bring it down, lift it up. Bring it down, stay here, roll through a cat. Inhale through a cow. Big deep breath in, and we'll step touch. Mosey your way over. Let's go ahead and pick up those weights. We'll use them a little bit for warm up. One in each hand. And we're going to angle and add a bicep curl when your front leg, when your back leg taps and you're leaning on your front leg. And then you're going to add a tricep extension when your back leg taps back. Right now I'm doing these palm up. You have the option to do thumb up to the front, pinky up to the back. Good. Come back to center. Just let those weights relax. Let the weights relax. Angle the other way. Bicep to the front, tricep to the back. Thumbs up and pinky up, or palm up and knuckles up. Good. Back to center. Angle the other way. Here we go again. Bicep, tricep. And then arms down, add a knee lift, running knee, and then bicep thumbs up. Last one. Back through center. Angle the other way. Go to your bicep, tricep, palm, and knuckle. And then we go knee up and thumb up, hammer curl. And back to center. Angle the other way, just 4 bicep, tricep. And then that knee up with that hammer curl. And then we're going to go to a hamstring curl. Elbows up and out to the side. And back to center. Angle the other way. Bicep, tricep, 4 times. Hammer curl, knee up. And then get that hamstring curl going. And arms are up and out. Back through center. Bicep, tricep 2 times. Knee up 4. Hamstring curl with those arms for 6. Arms rest, straight leg, and arms straight up. Thumbs lift, don't go too far up. Back through center. Angle the other way, you have 2 bicep triceps. And then you have 4 knees. You have 4 hamstring curls. No, that's 6, sorry. 2 more. All right, and then kick that leg back, and the arms. And back through center. Angle the other way, you just have 1 bicep tricep. Knee up for 4. 4 hamstring curls. And 4 extensions. Back through center. Angle the other way. 1 set of bicep, tricep. 4 knees. Hamstring curls. 4 of them. Extension for 4. Back through center. You are taking away the bicep, tricep. We're going back into 2 knees. 2 curls. 4 extensions. Back through center. Angle the other way. Remember, no bicep, tricep, just 1 knee up. Did I do 1? Whatever, 2 of them, sorry. 4 extensions. I forgot what I did, so, oh well. Back through center, angle the other way. No tap. 1 knee. 2 curls. 4 extensions. Back through center, angle the other way. You have 1 knee. 2 curls. 4 extensions. Back through center. We're taking away the first 2. We go right into curls for 2. Extensions for 2. Back to center. Get ready. 2 curls. 2 extensions. Back through center. You have 1 curl. 2 extensions. Back through center. 1 curl. 2 extensions. Back through center. You just have 2 extensions. And back through center, other way. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness, let those weights rest in your chair. Whew. I hope that your shoulders feel that as much as mine did. Roll those shoulders. We're going to settle in the middle, little bend in your knees. Bring your left arm down. Bring your right arm across it. Pull it down and then pull it across. Roll that back and down. Right arm comes across, left arm grabs it. Pull it down and across. Woo, hands on your thighs, roll through cat. And inhale through cow. And keep that going. Good. Big deep breath in and relax that. All right. Let's just go ahead. Not going to use our chair quite yet. Do just a little bit more upper body, but with some lower body. So we have that wide stance, hands just here at your chest. And let's get that either plie or booty squat going, whichever is better for you. And then we're going to add on just an upright row, a little tiny bit more shoulder. But this is better than the shoulder I had in mind. 2 more. Good. On this last one, just stay down, shoulders roll, hands or pinkies are facing me, straight up shoulder press as we just stay in this isometric contraction for your legs. Hopefully you're down low enough you feel them working. And relax. All right, now we're gonna get to a little bit of that back side of the body. So one weight comes behind your right leg and the other is in your right hand. Left knee is bent. And we're going to try and find that flat back position as we push a heel up in the air on that right leg. And then that right arm is going to go into a tricep extension, pinky up, knuckle up, or palm up, or some combination. And relax for a quick break. All we're going to do is switch over to the left. So weight goes behind that left leg, weight in your left hand, right knee is bent, get that press going, and then as you're ready, add your arms, tricep extension. And last time, bring that up. Set those weights down for a moment. Hands on your left thigh, bend that left knee, straighten that right leg, press those hips back for me, please. Roll those toes up and roll them out. And then roll them up and roll them in. And then bend both knees, extend your spine, and come up. Bend that right knee, left leg out to the side. Get it nice and straight. Roll the toes up and roll them out. Lift them up and roll them in. Bend both knees and extend up. All right. And now we're going to put both weights in your right hand and step forward with the right leg, back with the left. We're just going to start with that dunking bird. Oops, sorry. I just apologize to the fireplace. Sorry. Lose one weight. My apologies. That will be too much with 2 weights. So left leg is going back, feeling some hamstring in that right leg, hopefully. And then you have a couple options. You could bring the arm to the side. Going to get those rear deltoids and lots of posture muscles. You can bring it thumb up, out like a half of a Y. And if you really want to, you can bring it overhead, but try not to throw it overhead. And again, you can do that combination, half of a T, half of a Y, half of an I. You could even add a kick back here. Last one. And then take a little break. We're going to switch it up. So left leg is forward, right leg is back, shoulders back and down. Just get that dunking bird movement going. And then add possibly arm to the side, thumb up wide, all the way up in an I. You can do a straight arm kick back if you want to add that. Almost there. And last one. And relax. All right, we are going to use that chair to sit on. And we're going to be sitting toward the front of that chair. We're going to start by taking that right hand to the front of the left knee. Try not to drop and round, do your best to sit tall, and then extend that leg, and you should feel, because of that weight there, your quad engaged. Make sure you didn't hunch down, stay tall, and then just give me a tiny little bend and stretch. You can add on either a tricep kickback, or if you want a bicep. Or again, as always, some combination of the two. If your shoulders haven't added enough, you can do a lateral raise. And again, you do all three of them if you want. Two more. And relax. All right, let's switch that up. Left hand goes across to the front of the right, and we kick it so we feel that quad. And then something with your arm, bicep, tricep, lateral raise, up to you. Don't forget to give a little pause as you kick that leg out, so you really feel that quad. And relax. All right. Take those weights, set them down on the ground, give me a little bit of a wide stance, roll the shoulders back and down, hinge forward so your ribs are kind of on your thighs, but you don't want to be rounded, you want to be extended. So lift up through your chest and then grab those weights. Pinkies are towards the sky, shoulders out of your ears. We're going back in like a reverse Y. Hold there, gently come down, knuckles up, out to the side. Good. Reverse Y, pinkies up and out to the side. Again, we'll pause at the top. Make sure you're engaging those shoulder blades. Feel them squeeze together before you start your movement. And last one, relax that down. Let's do a little bit of stretching here. So scoot so your right hip drops off. Tuck that leg behind you. Grab hold with your left arm, right arm up and over to your same shoulder, and then tip a little. Maybe bring the hand to the center, even bring it to the opposite shoulder. And bring that back. And then we'll scoot over so your left hip drops off. Grab hold with your right hand, left hand to your left shoulder, or center, or opposite side. Shake that out. All right, you're halfway to the floor. So just make your way the rest of the way. And then scoot your chair out of the way, please. And have your weights handy. Knees are bent. Pull those glutes out from under you so you're sitting nice and tall. And let's just hinge back. A little roll down. You feel free to open your arms, come up, inhale. Take one of the weights, how about it? Put it between your knees just so we have conscientiousness about keeping those legs together. You can always do a more aggressive move with your arms, a T or a V or a Y. I'm going to stay low for now. And then if you want, grab that other weight. It's in front of you, shoulder height, but when you go back, you can play with lifting it higher, keeping those abs in, making sure you're not rolling and rounding. Make sure you lower the weight before you come up. Inhale. Exhale to hinge back. Inhale, lift if you want. Exhale, lower to come up. Inhale at the top. Exhale to move. Inhale at the back. Exhale to move. Last one. See if you can just hold here. Challenge those abs for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up, grab hold of those hammies, take a little rounding, and then mosey your way back down to a lying down position, please. Arms out into a T, passive stretch for that chest. And then grab your weights. You're putting both weights in your left hand. And your right hand goes across your rib cage. Turn your pinky to the sky on that left hand. Deep breath in. On the exhale, let that left arm go overhead, but sink your ribs down. Have that awareness, and then bring that arm straight above you. Try and keep your shoulder on the ground, the back of the shoulder. We're going to keep this with the straight arm today. And we just have 2 more. And then set those weights off to the side. If you do want a little tricep stretch, bring your left fingers towards your shoulder and then flatten them out. You can play with how far away that hand is, closer or further to get a little more stretch. And then bring both weights into your right hand. If your weights are too big to hold 2, 1 is fine. And then left hand rests on those rib cages, especially to the right, pinky to the sky, arm goes overhead, and yet the ribs stay down, and then right back up again. So inhale up and over, exhale down, trying to keep that right shoulder from lifting up like that, keeping it down on the ground, peace. Few more. And relax, bring those weights down to the side. Arms out in that T again. Oh, forgot, stretch that right tricep. And press that hand down. All right, and then we're going to take one weight, and if it's okay with your body, put it on the rib cage, let the ribs sink. You could also put it on your low abs right below the belly button if that's not uncomfortable. Totally up to you. And then legs come tabletop, and the other weight goes between those knees but below them. So towards the fleshy part of your shins, arms out into a T. Deep breath in, nod your head yes. Exhale, sink those ribs down. If that weight is there, that gives you that kinesthetic feedback. And then we go into our slow motion toe touches, inhaling as the legs move away, exhaling to bring them back up again. Try and keep your head in that beautiful alignment. So nod your head yes. Press the shoulders, elbows, knuckles into the ground. Back of the head. And obviously the low back stays in position, whether that's on the ground or just in a minor arch. Stay here, move that weight into your right hand, knees go to the left and center, left and center. And then come back through center, knees go right and center. Bring that weight up and over into your left hand. Knees continue right. And then knees go left. Come back to center, grab that weight. Ooh, walk those feet really wide. Let's get a nice quad stretch. So let the right leg drop in, left leg drops open. Now you have a couple of options. You could let one weight rest on your left inner thigh, and you could add the other weight to your outer right hip thigh area if you want. This is going to increase the stretch on both. So we'll just stay here for a few breaths. Lift the weights up. Let the knees gravitate the other way. And again, if you want, put one weight on the right inner thigh and the other on the outside of the left. Kind of have to hold them, at least the upper one in place. And then once again, we come back through center. Let's just take a single weight for now. Bring it right above us. Deep breath in. Exhale, float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Option to bring those arms up by your ears. Hold here. And then exhale down. Deep breath in. Exhale to lift. Inhale, up and over you go. Exhale, bring it down. Option to add that second weight and add that intensity. When those arms go overhead, you stay lifted, but there's extra challenge since those weights are over your head. And this last one, we're going to hold up here. Arms are overhead, head is lifted or down, and you're holding those weights, but pulling those ribs in for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Leave one weight in your hands. Lower legs go to tabletop. Float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. Double leg stretch. And then just tap that weight to your knee. You have the option to hand that weight off to your lower leg, and you get the tension in the lower part of the body. And of course, you can add another weight to your upper body if you want. Don't have to. Keep that going for me. And relax, but leave the legs tabletop. Actually, you know what? Sorry about that. We have our hold. So legs extend, arms extend, and we hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend in those knees, grab that weight. Back to tabletop we go with those legs. Right arm overhead, left leg reaches the other way. Inhale back to center, right leg, left arm. And relax, hug those knees in. We're gonna rock all the way over to face the front and get that little bit of outer hip action. So knees are stacked, hips are stacked. Pivot those heels together and toes apart and hold the weight with your palms. So you're pushing the weight into your legs rather than holding it separately. Lift your waistline, pivot open in your clam. And then let's lift those heels up in the air and do the same thing from here. Two more. And relax. Ooh, hopefully we felt those. Give that hip a little love. And then when you're ready, come up onto your elbow for side plank. And have one weight handy. Let's protect that shoulder, push it back, lift up out of it, engage those lats. Single weight in your top arm. You can be on the sides of your thighs. You can have the top leg in front of the bottom. You can be stacked. Hold that weight up. And then just give me an inch lift. Inch lift. And then bring that weight onto your leg, hold it there and press up. And bring that down. Woo! We are going to do those two exercises on the other side. Let's get that side plank first while we're still kind of halfway up. So single weight in that top arm. Elbow right underneath your shoulder, push it back, press it away, lift up out of it. Knees can be bent, all 10 toes in the air, top leg in front of the bottom, or stack them up, push up an inch. Then weight onto your leg, hold it in place and press. And relax. All the way down. Lying down. Weights where you can reach them to stack them on your legs once you get in your clam position. So again, they're resting on top of your thigh, arm underneath your ear, waistline lifted, heels together, toes apart, and press open. Beautiful. Knees down, heels in the air. Here we go. And relax. Give that hips some love. All right. Weights off to the side as you pivot over onto your abs, please. And just relax here a moment. Let's windshield wiper those legs side to side. And then extend those legs. And we're just going to grab a single weight, put it in our hands with the palms facing up and the weight pressing our hands down. Press your toes into the ground, so toenails are pushing, kneecaps are lifting. Press your pubic bone down, but pull the belly button in. Roll those shoulders up, back, and down, and then deep breath in. Exhale, lift it up. Slide your hands down your legs. Press, squeeze those shoulders together, and relax down. Inhale. Exhale, roll the shoulders, reach, 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 knees lift, and relax down, deep breath in. Exhale, stretch, reach, lift. And down. Couple more. And last time, stretch, reach, lift. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. This time we'll press back into our shell stretch. And as you come forward, you're going to have both weights in front of you. We're going to come down. And one weight is just there to keep your hands that same distance apart. This next one is going to be up to you. I don't need you to hurt yourself or anyone in your house. You're going to come up in a pretty plank or front of the 5 plank or all the way up into toe plank. And then if you feel like you are able, come down, come into a square position, put that across your sacrum, down low, not at your low back, where your pants are. And then if you want, come back up into whichever plank you were doing. Make sure it doesn't roll. You can also make it lengthwise up the seam of your pants. Maybe that works better. It's a lot easier when somebody does this for you. And bring it down. Undulate forward and back, cat-cow, please. All right, and then we're coming back over onto our spine. Bring one weight to the left and the other behind your right leg, about mid-hamstring. If you want, you can pull the dumbbell over so the fleshy part of your calf and your hamstring are up against it. And then you might even compress on the front of the shin. Just gives you a little bit of intensity on those 2 muscles. Draw circles with your knee and then draw circles with your ankle. And that's where you might actually feel this a little more. And then bring that to center. And we're going to roll that weight, not right behind your knee, but closer. And pull it in and over to the right. Let the left leg drop left. A little bit of inner thigh stuff at the same time. And bring both legs back to center. Straighten the left leg out. Flex through the left heel. Bring that right knee in nice and close. Rib to thigh. And then if you're able, move the weight to your calf and keep pushing the knee down and pressing up against that calf. And then again, you might get some movement in that ankle. And then we're going to gently roll it or skip the back of the knee, bring it to your hamstring, flex through the right heel, flex through the left, press the right against the weight, and then pull with the arms, and then press and pull, and we're doing both at the same time. And then relax. And move that weight to your right. Take the other one to your left, bend both knees. If you'd like, take that dumbbell head so it's kind of right up against the fleshy part of your calf as well as your hamstring. And then compress it with your shin, with your hands across your shin, draw some circles, and circle with the ankle. That's where you might feel this trigger point. And then bring that a little closer to the back of your knee, hug that knee in, let the right one drop to the right. Straighten that right leg out, flex through that heel, bring that left knee in, and then option to flex through that heel. And as you press that dumbbell against the calf and move through the foot, again, you might get that little bit of trigger point. Then roll it down, flex through that left heel, press away, pull in. Press away, pull in both at the same time. And bring that down, take a moment. And then that weight goes to your left. Bend both knees, right ankle across your left thigh, press it open. Reach around and thread your needle and bend those elbows to pull it closer, deepening that stretch on the outside of your right hip. And then pull that right knee all the way across. We're going to slip the right hand underneath the weight. Hands guide that right knee towards the left shoulder. And then you can support or you can let it go all the way. Hopefully that weight in your right hand helps keep that right shoulder down a little bit. Uncross the knees while you're there and lift back up. Cross that left ankle over the right thigh, press it open, grab your hammy. Pull it in. You can reach for the shin. Left knee all the way over the right, hug that in. Slip the left hand underneath that left weight as you pull those knees up and over to the right. And then again, maybe you support them, maybe you let them go all the way. And then release that. Arms out in a V for a moment. And then mosey your way over to your hands and knees, please. And we'll do that undulation forward and back. And then do it on a little bit of an angle. And then stack it all up, tuck those toes, press those hips up in the air, pedal out your feet if that would feel good. Walk it back, bend your knees, hands on your thighs, roll back. Inhale, cow. Big deep breath in. Yes. Thank you guys.